Hello and welcome to today's community chat. We're here with Bodhi from Bodhi Sunrise. Bodhi, welcome. Thank you so much for being here with us today.
Hey Megan,
And
nice to see you.
lovely to see you. Would you like to start a little bit by introducing yourself and tell us about what you do?
Yeah, so my name's Bodhi and I'm a yoga teacher based in Barcelona. It still brings a big smile to me that a South African who hasn't had his past always in yoga is now teaching full-time yoga in Barcelona. And basically I arrived here about 7 years ago, and for the first month that I was here, I taught at studios around the city. Unfortunately, I had some connections that I got some really great gigs. But after a month, I was like, wow, I cannot do this every month. Like I was just teaching so many classes and it went well on the surface, but I was exhausted and I barely had enough money to cover my rent. So I was like, okay, this cannot, we cannot just repeat this, and I cannot teach more and more and more and more classes. So I just started teaching. I had seen some magical outdoor yoga experiences in my travels, and I also really believed in the power of the sunrise. And Barcelona's weather is really good. And I was like, okay, this is it. We're going to teach at sunrise outside and let's just see what happens. And the only thing I said to myself was, I'm going to keep turning up. I'm going to keep showing up. And in the beginning, I mean, the first class I ever taught was the 1st of October, 2019. And a friend of mine came, and thank God she came, because it was like such a important moment to have someone there to show up. And I taught the class. And the next day, someone else came, but it's a random student, and it just grew from there. And whether it was raining, whether I had one student or 100 students, I would show up and I would be there, and we never cancelled. And that consistency, I guess, just led to something really special. Now, 7 years later, I've just literally got in now from a yoga morning where
Amazing.
it's like a sunrise yoga followed by a swim in the sea, followed by the most important part, the coffee and the best croissants in Barcelona. So yeah, I'm feeling super grateful to be here, and yeah, it's been a hell of a journey.
Amazing. So, if I understand correctly, you taught every single day for from 2019. It sounded like that at least.
More or less. So I've taught Monday to Saturday has been very regular,
Okay.
where I would do the sunrise Monday to Friday, and then Saturday classes. I don't know. Saturday, I feel like it's a weekend. People need to sleep a little bit more.
That's
People in
true.
Barcelona. So we've done 8 a.m. classes on a Saturday,
Amazing.
and then I've sort of experimented a little bit with weekends off. So I've also done sunsets. I've done all sorts of things, but basically the sunrises has been consistent. And I think the first 4 years I didn't take a break. I just
Wow.
taught and taught, apart from COVID. But then even in COVID, I taught during COVID on Zoom, which I was like, what? A Zoom class? That can't be happening. And it was epic. It was epic
Wow.
every day for Sunrise in Zoom during COVID. And what was incredible about it was that it just I had experience teaching in Berlin, in Luxembourg, in other parts of the world,
Mm.
and people could gather during COVID. And obviously, we didn't have much to do during that time, so it was very powerful. I really loved it. But basically, the first 4 years, I never took a break, and then I went to South Africa. I went home for Christmas, so I took December off. And then once I did December off, the year later I took December and January off. So now last year I went to Salvador for the most beautiful yoga, surf, holiday retreat
Mm.
for December and January. And it's the best time for me to take off because it's winter. But in the past, we went through every day and we swam every day and we had coffee. And I think even the winter practice, it's challenging because
Mm.
it's not like freaking freezing in Barcelona, but it gets pretty cold.
Yeah.
And it's challenging to do yoga in cold conditions. Like I had this one lady I'll never forget. She did the yoga class in a wetsuit, which is pretty genius because she then was ready for the swim. But I swear she was sweating in that thing.
I can
Um,
imagine all the juices stayed inside.
exactly, exactly. But no, I've had some really fantastic experiences. But mainly, I would say the consistency has been the most powerful element because in the beginning, when I arrived there, I didn't know many people in Barcelona, one or two people from my days as a field hockey player.
Mm,
I didn't have Instagram, which every teacher was like, you have to have Instagram, you have to do this, you have to do that. And I
hmm
was very proud about not having Instagram and creating something that became sustainable for me. It became my work. I stopped teaching in the studios. And more than that, it became more than a yoga class. It was a group of people. There have been people who have been coming to my classes for years.
mm.
Some people have been to like 1 or 2 thousand yoga classes of mine. It's
Wow,
crazy.
that's
So
crazy.
so yeah, it's become more than a job, more than a yoga class. It's become like a beautiful way to wake up in the morning, and meeting different people from around the world
Mm,
has been incredible. And yeah, it's also then influenced now. I've just started an online wellness method, I would guess, but it's based upon the learnings of waking up early in the morning and using the first minutes of your day productively, but then knowing that the way you wake up is really influenced by the way you go to sleep. And a lot of people are struggling to sleep. And so it's been really inspiring to get into this work. And I've started to really love helping people to sleep better and to wake up better and to have a routine that can help them and have a sustainable routine. I think that's really, really important.
mm,
Have something that you can actually stick to, not like, something that is great for a couple of weeks and then you lose track, like something simple and easy that makes sense to you and that works. So
mm.
yeah, it's been amazing.
Amazing. I mean, I saw on your website that you are a self-proclaimed morning person. That I am not. Um, do you think that everybody is a morning person with the right amount of sleep? Or do you think some people are just more inclined to sleep more? Do you think men and women differ in that sense? Like, what would you say?
I mean, I think habit and what you've done over many years is powerful. So
Mm,
if you've been used to being most productive at night and going to bed late and waking up late, like it's difficult to change that.
mm,
But what I do think is that waking up more or less with the sun and going to bed when it's dark and having more or less the same rhythm really helps your body and
mm,
really communicates clearly to your body what you need it to do.
mm,
And I think your body and your nervous system really appreciates that. Of course, there's life is not black and white, and,
mm.
and there's so many different shades and colors. And seeing be living in Barcelona, teaching outdoors in Barcelona. I mean, I've seen everything. Like you can't believe it. Obviously, it's like this intersection of party goers winding down and yogis waking up, and it's a beautiful intersection. And obviously, being in a live zone,
Mm,
it's a whole different game teaching yoga outside. Like I mean, it's just always you have to be present. That nothing can surprise me. But
mm,
obviously, it's not like this pure safe container that we try to create in a studio, which obviously makes sense. So you really can drop into a state of peace, like your nervous system can feel safe. But trying to create that in an outdoor space, I think, is very powerful because it's kind of like life, like you can't really control what's happening around you, but you can control how you breathe and how you are. And I think that's been very powerful for us. And also that you arrive there and you as you are, it's not perfect. It's messy. And I think this, for me anyway, and I hope for the people that have enjoyed waking up with us, and enjoying these experiences, it's like it's a space where you can feel completely relaxed and you can you can arrive as you are. There's no mirrors in the studio. It's I don't know, it's more than a yoga class. It's just a
mm.
space that you can feel at home, and you can the connections of people around the world, through the yoga class, through the peer, over the years. Wow, it's really beautiful.
It sounds gorgeous and very welcoming and inclusive as well. Um, when you mentioned the sunrise, I'm in Amsterdam right now. Obviously, the sunrise can come and it can equally disappear. Do you do that with people who live abroad as well? Do you teach them? Do you do your coaching? And how do you sort of manage the whole absence of sunrise sometimes, or that kind of lifestyle
Yeah.
that you have in Barcelona?
Yeah, I mean, no doubt weather affects mood, weather affects life, light affects sun is very, very powerful.
Mm,
And I can remember, after COVID, we had a lot of people consistently coming to the Zoom classes, and then all of a sudden, you know, the kind of the home stays were lifted, and we could suddenly go outside.
Mm,
And then what I did was, in the beginning, I mean, people were so excited to come outside again. It was just so much gratitude, which was great.
mm.
And I had a my phone zooming people in from around the world. But
Wow.
obviously, after a while, and it was a short while, people in Luxembourg, people in Switzerland, people in Germany were like, I wish I was there. The sun is shining there, and I'm in my
Mm,
living room or my lounge in Luxembourg, and it's just gray outside. And obviously, this was like a bit depressing,
mhm. Yep.
to kind of. So look, of course, it's easier when you have a sun and a warmth and a light. But the work that I'm doing now around, yeah, and I'm working with clients. I've had an Italian client recently. The most recent person is an Austrian lady that I'm working with. She lives in Sevilla, though, so it's more or less the same kind of temperature and climate as me.
Mhm.
But the thing is that I want to create as much ease and consistency as possible. So no matter where you are living in the world, I think that the first minutes after you wake up are very powerful, and taking them for yourself to do some simple things, and the techniques that we use are very simple, like getting your heart above your head, doing a simple balance, warming the body, doing some kind of breath work. I like to take the pulse in the morning. It's like a really good way just to bring your attention inwards. Just a little trick for 60 seconds. They're all really, I would say, simple techniques. It finishes with a cold shower, which, of
Mm.
course, a cold shower in Barcelona versus a cold shower in the winter in Amsterdam, of course, it's more challenging,
Mhm.
but it's possible. It's
Mhm.
possible. So yeah, I've seen a lot of people from around the world now working with these techniques, and I think the more important one, let's say, or the one that is more critical is the night, the sleep practice, because of course, if you are not sleeping well, it takes a lot of energy out of your life,
Mm.
and if you can improve that, it makes a big difference. For me, it kind of I reverse engineered, I would say, my sleep, because I was waking up every day, and because there have been days over the last 7 years that I haven't felt like it, where I have been tired. Maybe even yesterday, because yesterday was the day after the World Cup final in Barcelona, and I was short of sleep. But the bottom line is that I wanted to wake up as many times as possible with good energy, feeling good, feeling positive, feeling like I want to go to class because I really enjoy it. And so, because of that, I started to learn what I needed to do the night before, and
Mm.
in terms of hours. But it's not just hours. Like, there's sometimes when I can sleep for 5 or 6 hours or even 4 hours, and if you get your body in the right state to sleep, your 4 hours can be equal to 8 hours of non-quality sleep. So it's been really fun to work with different people and to understand how little improvements in this area, which are not like, it's not a crazy commitment. It's
Mhm.
10 minutes before you go to bed, and obviously in the beginning it takes some consciousness and some
Mm.
effort, but after a while your body understands it. And basically, I like to say it like this. Like when you have a really excited dog, and the dog is waiting for you to take it on a walk. And you
Mhm.
know that if you pick up the lead, or you pick up your keys, because if you means you go in the car to the park or whatever the vibe is, you
Mm.
know that your dog is going to go mental, like absolutely
Mm.
mental. So you cannot pick up the lead unless you're going to go for a walk.
Mm.
And I like to say that that action of picking up the lead, the dog absolutely knows what it has to do. It
Mm.
knows what's coming next. And with sleep, you want to create the same kind of thing, but your body knows exactly what comes next, and that is rest, shut down, drop tools, let go.
Mm.
And it's really powerful. And yeah, I'm like really nerding out on the work, and
Love
really
it.
enjoying helping people who are struggling with sleep and then improve.
Mm.
Wow, like the most grateful humans on the planet, and it's really cool to be part of that journey and to support people. And I really like, I've been a coach, I've been a field hockey player, and I've done a lot of sport, and I've done a lot of coaching. So I like the role of cheerleader, of
Mm.
support, of motivator, of helping someone. So
Mm.
yeah, it's been a privilege.
Amazing. And what led you to actually branch out into sleep in the first place? Because you're a yoga teacher as well, obviously. But then what led you into the coaching and why sleep? How did that come about?
Yeah, I mean, I never when I've been through a couple of burnouts, a couple of different phases of my life, and I definitely remember when you have a low battery, when you're burnt out,
Mm,
I would say the first thing you need to do is sleep. You
okay.
need to you need your body, you need to give your body a chance to recover, and your body is very skillful, and a lot of things happen in our sleep, like rest and recovery and digest and all these things that happen. But if we are fully wired and our nervous system doesn't know if it's Arthur or Martha, doesn't know if it's coming or going, it's really difficult for you to get this rest. And I think yeah, for me, the sleep came from waking up and committing to waking up every morning at sunrise,
Mm,
and realizing that I couldn't continue to be this consistent if I was tired
mm,
and not fresh and not looking forward to it. If I wasn't looking forward to teaching every morning, after a while I'd be like, okay, that was great, but I'm out of here. And
mm,
I want to be sustainable. I have had various different chapters of my life where I had some incredible experiences and startups and being part of projects that I really cared about, but it wasn't very sustainable. And now, of course, as a yoga teacher, it's not really a good look if you're not sustainable yourself. So,
mm,
yeah, through the commitment to waking up every morning and wanting to be fresh and energized and excited and joyful, I learned about how to manage my sleep. And now I'm just applying those principles to other people. And yeah, just created. Basically, I've created like a subscription, like a library full of different tools, and it's basically 10 minutes before bed is like the sleep protocol, evening practice, and the 10 minutes after waking up is the morning practice. And they're simple, they're fun. I've been for sure, my classes are fun. There's like a playfulness about them, and I've tried to incorporate that in all the things that I do,
mm.
because also when you have fun you also are likely to repeat things.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just been a natural evolution. And of course, as a yoga teacher, it's very difficult, as I said at the beginning, to rely on just teaching at yoga studios, because I think the chances to burn out are quite high because you just have to keep adding classes. And of
Mm,
course, like there's this feeling like when I first took my leave, 4 years into teaching, I was like, okay, hang on a sec, I'm not going to teach for 2 months. So then who's going to pay me?
mm.
And it was like a bit of a wow,
Reality. Mm,
like just a reality check.
mm.
And you don't want to go on holiday and be like, whoa, like
Yeah.
I'm hacking here, and everyone else, not everyone else, but different jobs, you go on holiday and you're getting paid. And
Mhm.
so I was like, okay, how do I work towards that,
Mm,
and be able to contribute to more people, but also be able to contribute and be sustainable myself? Because there's nothing better as a yoga teacher to be on holiday in El Salvador and then someone buy a course, or someone join in and sign up as a one-on-one client.
mm,
Oh, I was like, oh my word. So now I'm doing my work and I don't have to be on the pier.
mm.
Wow, that is a sweet thing
It's
to
the
work towards.
dream.
It's the
Mm,
dream. So yeah, and it's been fun. Like it's a different set of rules. It's a different game. It's a different playing field, and I've really enjoyed it. And I haven't been like obsessed with it of
mm,
making it a success. Like I really believe, and I love working with just one person.
mm,
And slowly, it's starting to work, and I'm starting to help. Like I've witnessed the results. So like I'm in no rush. And luckily I have my base every morning and I enjoy it. Like, and
mm.
I think I wouldn't enjoy it if I was tired. If I was waking up tired and you have to force,
Yeah,
it's too much.
that's
So
how
I,
you
I
burn
want
out. Mm,
to. So yeah, it's just been an evolution from teaching since I got my teacher training in 2017. I've had the luck to be able to teach almost every day for 10 years. And I think that's been
it's beautiful.
critical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so happy for you as well that it's working out for the coaching. I mean, I think your happiness and sort of gratitude towards that is infectious as well. And you can feel that you're just so happy to have the privilege of doing that, which is just beautiful. It makes you want to work with you as well, I would say. So
I
yeah,
hope
I can
so.
really sense that. You mentioned protocols before, and I saw on your website there are protocols and there are rituals. Like, can you tell us a little bit about them?
Yeah, sure. I mean, kind of like what I try to explain with the dog and the lead.
Yep.
We want to find a protocol, and I believe like my courses are quite similar, but they all have a little bit of slight differences in like basically you'll get a 7 day, 7 sessions, so you could do one session every day.
Mm.
And my my advice, or what I've seen so far, is that for each human to try those seven. And there's more. There's like a more active one. There's a more restful one. I'm also busy making a wake up protocol for partners because, of course, if you sleep with your partner, you
Hmm.
can't just do your thing. It's nice to be able to do it together. And then there's intimacy and connection and playfulness and a whole. That's a whole side
Oh, I
game.
love that. That's very
Super cool. I'm
super
so
cool.
excited about this. And obviously having a teammate for accountability and fun. And you know, when you live together with someone for a long period of time, it's difficult to have these moments of intimacy and to
Mm,
make a commitment for 10 minutes every night that you can in the morning, every morning that you can is very, very cool.
mm,
But basically, I like to say to my clients to try to experience. And then my best advice is to obviously some people get bored with stuff and they
mm,
want to then reinvent and create and this is okay. But I've seen quite a few people that then find a morning, maybe, this session I love the most and my body loves it. The legs up the wall worked for me and this worked for me. And I'm like, you go girl, you do that one.
mm,
And for me, having something that is familiar for your body is almost half the battle. So it's like,
mm,
okay, the moment I sit down on my bed, maybe I light the candle. The
mm,
smell of the match is already communicating to my body. I
mm,
like to do a little bit of journaling because I just like if I've got like active mind, I just write down like a dump it down. Just the fact of me picking up my journal, picking up the pen,
Your
doing
brain.
my heart rate. It's
Mm,
like my body is like, ah,
mm,
okay, this is the start of me just chilling out and doing nothing and
mm,
switching off and resting. And it's all about valuing that and understanding how important that is.
mm,
And
mm,
so for me, ritual, protocol, call it whatever you like. It's
mm,
about creating a familiarity for your body that it knows when to slow down and to switch off. And then on the flip side, when you wake up slowly, and some people like to wake up with an espresso, some people like to wake up slower.
mm,
There's different ways to wake up, and I've definitely tried to create courses that sort of are different, yeah, different styles of wake up. But ultimately, I work a lot one on one with people, and
lovely.
then we create something that works for this human being
Mm,
with this life and these things that are happening at the moment. I think this is the most powerful, but
mm,
the general courses work well, and you can find a sweet spot for you. And then ultimately, I always say to people that I want people to be free from the digital, like everything I have is on video,
mhm,
but most of the clients are just listening. You don't have to watch it.
mm,
Once you've watched it once, you just have to listen. And
mhm,
then once you've done it, I don't know how many times, maybe 21 times people talk about this number, but it's different for everybody.
mhm,
Once it becomes habitual part of your body, you
mhm,
don't need it. You don't
mhm.
need it anymore. You don't need my voice. Sometimes, like, I don't know how to feel about this because I remember at school, we would be like, oh my God, the history teacher, that guy puts you to sleep. Oh, jeez. And it's not exactly a good comment. It's like a bit of a it's like it's a diss, you know? Oh, that
Mhm.
dude puts me to sleep. And now it's like part of my work. And if someone says, oh, bro, your voice just puts me to sleep, I'm like, that's the sweet spot, bro. So I'm trying to think of this history teacher because he should get into yoga nidra and sleep work because that's the sweet spot.
Mm. It's kind of like neuroplasticity, what you're doing. It sounds like that at least, where you're basically rewiring the brain to sort of hear your voice and then go, okay, like now it's time to sleep. So it's really scientific at the same time.
I mean, when you say neuroplasticity, I've been starting to read so much more about this.
Mm,
I feel that when you relax your body completely to go to bed,
mm,
your body is so incredibly receptive.
yeah, absolutely.
And I've started to work now. This is like, wow, this is like this just, I can't believe how excited I am about this. I used to play field hockey at a decent level,
Mm.
and one of my friends, who is a former teammate of mine, is the head coach of a international team,
Wow.
and he's working towards the Olympics. Or the World Cup is in August. The Olympics is in 2018 in 2028 in Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm.
And we're working towards two things. One, rest and recovery for athletes, for coaches alike, is very, very important. So if you don't get enough rest and recovery, you're not, all of the strength, all of the power, all of the practice that you're doing is almost going to waste. But
Mm.
number two is that suddenly, if you can get rest and recovery when you sleep, but then suddenly you can get like free training.
Mm.
You plant visualization seeds. You plant visualizing techniques,
Mm.
visualizing success, visualizing. It's like wow. It's
Mm.
like it's like the meat point of wellness
Mm.
and performance.
Mm.
And I'm super pumped that I'm working with him. Um,
Incredible.
on his with him as a coach,
Mm.
as a human, but
Mm.
then hopefully with the idea that we will be able to work with his players and start to do some interesting work. And yeah, it's really cool. I basically I create audio files with beautiful like healing, rhythmical, meditative music in the background,
Mm.
which is just it's like powerful seed planting the night before. And it's super exciting. But yeah, I think in terms of rewiring, it's a powerful moment, and I think that
Beautiful.
yeah. So
That's
like, it's just like
incredible.
it's like I've discovered a field that I'm so freaking excited about, and
Mm.
I'm obviously it's just an endless learning.
Yeah.
So
I'm so happy, like I'm so happy for you that you feel so passionate about it as well. And it just seems like you're in this playground and you're just having fun with it as well and just enjoying the benefits of it and other people are at the same time. So that's just amazing. What more is there to come then for Bodhi Sunrise, would you say? Or are there any dreams that you want to do over time?
I mean, one crazy dream, which isn't really a dream anymore, I guess, is like I have like this curiosity that I'm gonna be like this 80-year-old dude teaching on the pier in Barcelona. So like 7 years is gonna become 17 years, and 17 years is gonna become 27 years. And I'm kind of curious whether when I'm 80 and all old and whatever, will I still be funny and will my jokes still be like relatable? And will young people come? But that's just funny. And I mean, it's not totally crazy to think that that could be happening
I
because
think that could happen for sure. Like seeing you now, I can picture you just still just like, yeah, we do our little poses.
yeah, I don't know, that would be funny. But no, I would love to help more. I'd love to support people with the online project has no limit.
Mm,
Like it's such a space. It's the potential for growth is total.
mm,
So like I just want to keep enjoying and keep learning and keep sharing and seeing where that will lead. I mean, some crazy things have happened. Like I've one of the other platforms that I teach yoga on, as in that has the ability to book my. Obviously, I have Momoyoga, which actually has been really really. It took me some time to find Momoyoga,
oh,
and it's
really?
yeah. I've had other platforms, and to be honest they haven't worked well. Like I've had most people kind of just contact me directly and blah blah, and platforms have been more trouble than they're worth for me. Such a mission, and Momo Yoga has been easy. Like people
Oh,
use it, it works. So it's been really cool, and now starting to use it for the online stuff as well and the subscription. So I'm super excited about that. But
nice.
I put my yoga experience on Airbnb experiences right at the beginning. I was like, okay, let me try, and it was quite a some hoops to jump through
Mm,
to get onto the platform.
mhm,
And then 7 years later, I've been teaching and teaching and teaching and teaching, and I've done heaps of people from Airbnb from around the world, and it's amazing. You like Korean people and Chinese people and people that you would never normally have the chance to meet, and
mm,
suddenly we are putting them. We're all together and we're learning from each other and languages and cultures and amazing. And
mm,
anyway, like I'd never heard from Airbnb. Airbnb is a big business.
mhm.
And then suddenly last year, out of the blue, I got a email from Airbnb, and I was like, "Whoa, what do they want? Like, what's the story?" And there was a whole bunch of people CC'd, and they were like, "Listen, we've nominated you to be on such and such a advisory board committee." And I was like, it sounded all very fancy, and I was like,
Hmm.
"What is going on here?" And at the end of it, they said, "Listen, we invite you to do a Zoom call with us, and we'll tell you more about it. But thank you for the years of service, and your reviews are absolutely beautiful, and we want to say thank you for all the contribution that you've done." I was like, wow, just
Wow, look at
receiving the
that.
email from them, I was stoked.
Yeah.
Just to get like just to be noticed. I mean, whatever, it's so
Mhm.
nice. And then yeah, basically since then I'm like on a advisory committee, and
Wow.
I have like a gig with Airbnb, and actually like 3 or 4 weeks after that phone call, I was in San Francisco at a conference, and I even did like some breath work with them. I've met so many people from around the world, and I'm going again in September. So like, it's like crazy. Like things have just happened from just being consistent and doing what I love in the morning. I feel very, very grateful.
Well, Bodhi, it seems that you're doing incredible work, to be honest. And just talking to you has made me want to go off and, be consistent in what I do, and go after my dreams. So thank you so much for your energy, and everybody check you out. So where can they find you in Barcelona?
So yeah, I teach in Barcelona every sunrise. At the moment, it's 6:30 a.m. Monday to Friday. I'm taking the weekends off for summer, which actually 8 a.m. is just too hot at the moment in Barcelona. It's
I
been
can imagine.
so hot. But
Yeah.
yeah, basically, I'm now on Instagram with this whole, I finally caved in, and actually, I'm having fun on Instagram, to
You're
be
very
honest.
popular on Instagram as well,
No,
I
I don't know
saw.
about popular. I'm too old to be popular on Instagram, but I'm trying. I'm trying my best. And yeah, I have the Bodhi Sunrise website,
Yep.
bodhisunrise.com, and Bodhi Sunrise is the Instagram. So yeah, reach out if you're in Barcelona. Come and join for a sunrise. It's a really fun group of humans, and we have fun and we swim, and the croissants are legendary. So
I love the croissants.
yeah,
I will
they're
come for
pretty
the
much.
croissants.
Exactly. Come for the croissants. So yeah, that's about it. And yeah, if you I have like a couple of free sleep audios that are available. You can just register on, give your email address, and you can give
We'll
things
put
a try.
the link below so that people can find you as well.
Okay, yeah, perfect. So yeah, there's a few ways to catch me, and yeah, I would love to meet more people in the Momo Yoga community.
Amazing. Have a beautiful day. Thank you so much, Bodhi, and I will speak to you soon.
All right, you too. Cheers, Megan. Take care.